Listen to part of a conversation between a student and a professor.
Hi, Professor Williams. I just have a quick question regarding your theater history class.
Hello, Julie. Yes, what is your question?
Well, I am currently taking 18 credits, which is a full load for a semester, but I really would like to take your theater history class as well.
I would love to have you in class, Julie, but it sounds as though you are taking enough classes as it is. Why don't you just take my class next semester?
I would take it next semester, but I am going to be majoring in theater history, and I just feel as though I should be taking it right now, as there are other classes I will need to take in the future to secure my major.
I am sorry, Julie, but I just don't see how it would be possible. If you were to take my class on top of another 18 credits, you would be studying all the time and would have no time for anything else.
Yes, I have considered this, which is why I've come up with an idea. What if I were to audit your class and be like an audience member? That way I am taking notes on all of your lectures and learning the material, but I don't have to take the class for credit.
Well, that is certainly an idea, Julie. You could audit the class for no credit according to the policy at this school, but then you will not be able to join in on the class discussions. What if you have a question concerning a lecture I am giving? Are you going to feel okay about not participating?
Wow, I guess I never considered that. I would have to say that I would be frustrated if I weren't able to ask questions in class or add my own comments to a discussion.
You also have to consider how not having theater history credits is going to affect your theater major. Ideally, we would like you to have credit for all of your major classes, and if you decide to do something in the theater world later on, then it would also be a good idea to get credit for all of those classes. Do not worry, Julie. You are a great student, and putting off my class for one semester is not going to set you back at all. Take your 18 credits this semester, and I will, for sure, get you into my theater history class next semester, okay?
You are right, Professor Williams. I guess I just got worried that I would not have time to fit in all of my theater history classes. But it is more important to me that I have full credit for my major courses and that I am able to participate in the discussions. I look forward to taking your class next semester, though. Thanks very much for talking to me.
That is no problem, Julie. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and I will pencil you in for next semester's class right now. Have a good afternoon. 1. What class is the student interested in taking for no credit? 2. Why would the professor like the student to wait and take her class next semester? 3. What can be inferred from the conversation? Listen to part of a conversation between a student and a registration clerk. Good afternoon. How can I help you?
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel. I seem to be having some trouble registering for classes.
Okay, can you specify what kind of trouble you're having? Are you having trouble choosing the classes or deciding which professor you would like to have?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I find I am only having trouble when I am trying to register for next semester's classes online. Whenever I press the Complete Registration button, I get a notice that reads, "Sorry, we cannot complete this registration. Please see a clerk for details." I'm not sure what the problem could be. I'm a very good student and always make sure that I am choosing classes to complete my major.
Well, let me take a look on my computer here. It seems that your problem has nothing to do with your classes at all. My computer screen shows that you have an overdue fee at the library. It says you owe the library $10 for a book entitled Psychology and the Universe. Do you remember checking this book out?
What? But I paid that fee just last week. I remember that book very well because it was a book I checked out for a psychology paper. It is true, I did forget to return the book on time, but I received a library notice last week and went in and paid the fine.
Well, there is the possibility that you did pay the fine, but the library clerk forgot to log the information into the main computer. If that is the case, then my computer wouldn't be updated with that information. You are sure you paid the fine, right? You are certain you didn't pay a fine for a different book you checked out?
I am positive. I haven't checked out any other books at the library in a long time. In fact, I distinctly remember paying the fine because when I was in the library, the clerk who took my money was someone I knew when I was a child. We started reminiscing and talked for 45 minutes. Hey, perhaps she got sidetracked by our conversation and that was why she forgot to update the computer.
Well, I am sure it's happened before, and it could very well be the situation again. However, the only way we can resolve this is if you can go across campus and get a receipt from the library. But you must hurry, as today is the last day you can register for classes, and it is already well past noon.
Today is the last day I can register? I had no idea. I thought registration ended next week.
No, I'm afraid today is the last day. Well, if you hurry, you may be able to get to the library and get back here by 4 p.m., when our office closes. If, however, you cannot make it back in time, our online registration is open until 10 p.m.
I very much doubt that I can get to the library and then back here by 4 p.m. I think I will just go to the library after dinner and then make sure I go home directly after that and register for my classes online.
Wonderful. Just make sure that the library enters the receipt into the system. That way, your name will be cleared and you can register online. However, please bring me the receipt tomorrow so that we have a paper trail in case there is a problem.
Yes, I will make sure to let them know. Thank you very much for your help.
You're welcome. Good luck with your registration. 1. How much was the student's library fine? 2. Why must the student hurry to the library to get his receipt? 3. Listen again to part of the conversation, then answer the question. What does the clerk imply when he says this? You are sure you paid the fine, right? You are certain you didn't pay a fine for a different book you checked out? Listen to part of a conversation between a student and a professor.
Hello, Sarah. Thank you for answering my email and setting up a meeting with me. You are probably wondering why I've asked you to make an appointment.
I guess I am a little bit curious. Is it about the upcoming physics project?
Well, yes and no. You see, I am very worried about your grade in my class. You've failed the last 2 tests and you've not been handing in your homework. Is there something going on outside of class that would cause your work to suffer like this? I looked into your records and see that you did fine in your entry-level physics class.
Yes, I guess I have done pretty poorly lately, haven't I? It's a mixture of things, really. First off, to answer your question, I am finding the new things we are covering in your physics class to be very challenging. Before the last test, I stayed up and studied most of the night, but I was still having trouble understanding the concepts.
Well, we can definitely try to help remedy this particular part of the problem. In fact, I have just hired a part-time tutor. Perhaps you would be interested in meeting with the tutor for a few sessions until you can get caught up with the material.
That would be very helpful, thank you.
Is there anything else that is affecting your performance in this class?
Well, I am also having some trouble with my lab partners. You see, we can never agree on a time to do our lab together because of our schedules, and so often we are left to do parts of the lab on our own. This causes some trouble for me, especially when I am left to do harder parts of the lab or equations that I am not familiar with. When we do finally get together to exchange information, instead of helping me, they get angry at me for not doing the work right and then complete it themselves without sharing the correct answers with me or showing me how to do it. I know you put the lab groups together, but do you think it's possible that I could change to a different group?
Certainly, Sarah. I would be happy to move you into a different group. In fact, before you leave here today, if you could give me a copy of your schedule, then I can try to match it with some other students in the class who have similar schedules, so that you are all able to do the lab work together. Do you think meeting with a tutor and switching lab groups will help you get back on track again?
I think so. I will at least give it my best effort. Thank you for being so understanding, Professor Miller.
You are welcome, Sarah. I just wish you'd come to me sooner so that we could have sorted this out. You are going to have to work really hard now to salvage your grade this semester.
I know. I guess I was so embarrassed by how badly I was doing that I didn't want to say anything.
That is nonsense. You are always welcome in my office. I just want you to do the best that you can. In fact, I am going to extend the deadline for the upcoming project I assigned today in class just to give you enough time to try to catch up with the tutor.
Thank you, Professor Miller. I really appreciate it.
1. What is the first reason the student gives the professor for doing so poorly in his class? 2. What did the professor just do recently that could help the student? 3. What can be inferred from the conversation?